There are plenty of predictable job interview questions, and one of those is, what is your biggest weakness? Now, you already know that they're going to ask you that, so how do we answer it? Well, the first step is to identify that that question could be worded a number of different ways. What's your greatest weakness? What are you not good at? What do you wish you could do better? Where do you need to improve professionally? All of these are worded differently, but they ask the same question. Now, when you're preparing for your job interview, it's worth thinking about why the interviewer might ask that question. If the position requires certain skills and qualities, and your weaknesses happen to match the required skills and qualities, obviously the position's not a good fit for you, and the interviewer will see that. That will likely result in you being eliminated from the application process. Now, there are plenty of mistakes that applicants make in trying to answer this question. A common mistake is for applicants to say, my biggest weakness is definitely chocolate. It's not funny, it's unprofessional, and it's likely to annoy the interviewer. Another really common mistake is to use the old perfectionist answer. My biggest weakness is that I'm a perfectionist and I can't work with people who don't operate at the same high level that I do. They've heard that 1,000 times before. It's not helpful. It doesn't show the interviewer that you're genuinely being open and honest with your answers. Now, when it comes to a weakness question, it's important that you are, because again, the interviewer is looking to see whether or not you're compatible. It's a very fine line between being eliminated and being allowed to continue with the process. So we've got to be open and honest, but it's more about the way that you frame your answer and the language that you use, rather than specifically what it is that is a weakness for you. The first consideration about language is that I suggest that you don't repeat the question by saying, well, my biggest weakness is, and then offer a weakness. Never repeat that negative language of my biggest weakness is, because you're reinforcing in the interviewer's mind the word weakness, and that's how they're picturing it in their mind. That's how they're framing you around this particular topic, as a weakness. How else could we frame this to make it more positive but still answer the question? I'm really good at working under pressure, but I'm probably not great at asking for help early. Sometimes I leave it a little longer than I should to ask for help or to delegate. This is something that I'm conscious of and I'm getting better at it, but it's an area I continue to work on. Okay, let me break down that question for you into the 5 individual components. Now, component number 1 is to include something positive, a sneaky little strength at the beginning of your answer. In the example I gave, I said, I'm really good at working under pressure, but, and then I quickly moved on to stage number 2. Now, number 2 is about using positive language instead of the word weakness. In the answer I gave, I said, I'm probably not great at asking for help early. Probably not great suggests that I'm not very good at it, but it's not using the word weakness. Stage number 3 was to expand on that not great aspect, in this case asking for help early, by clarifying a little. Sometimes I leave it longer than I should to ask for help or to delegate. Okay, step number 4 is to show some self-awareness. This is something I'm conscious of, and then we continue with our answer, showing them that you're aware of this. You're self-conscious about your work and you've identified that this is an area that could do with some improvement. And stage number 5, add more positive language. Show them that you're proactive by saying, I'm getting better at it, but it is an area I continue to work on. So there are the 5 components that you can use to populate your answer to the question, what is your biggest weakness? Okay, I hope you found that framework helpful. Just keep in mind though that if you're answering the weakness or what you're not great at question, it's important to be fairly genuine about the response, because the interviewer is highly likely to follow up with some additional questions. Questions like, when was the last time you experienced this with a project? What was the effect on the project? And what have you done to improve in this area? Think about using the framework, use positive language. I hope this was helpful. Good luck with your interview.